welcome Peter Atkins, celebrated screenwriter, probably best known for his work on the Hellraiser series and the Wishmaster film. Thank you for being here.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Sean. Thank you very much for the invitation.
So obviously, we'll start with Hellraiser if that's okay. So that was obviously originally a Clive Barker story, but your history with Clive Barker went back many years before that, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Clive and I met in 1974. Oh, which I hadn't realised it was our 50th anniversary.
Ah.
Oh, I should make a Facebook post about that. I met Clive and Doug Bradley, who went on to play Pinhead in the Hellraiser movies. I met them both in 1974. They'd known each other for 2 or 3 years before that because they both went to the same senior school, comprehensive Quarrybank Comp in Liverpool. And I went to the Bluecoat, a different school. But fortunately for me and my future friendships and career, probably, the drummer in my rock band in my high school quit, and we had a gig coming up. I mean, I'm 17, a gig.
Right.
Was it even a school dance? I can't remember what it was, but big gig coming up. And I knew that a lad called Graham Bickley, 2 years younger than me, I'd heard he could drum. So being a dick, the way older kids are in school, I just found him in the corridor one night and said, "Bickley, you're in my band, rehearsing tomorrow night. Bring your drums." And then Graham and I became very good friends. And the reason I'm telling that story is his sister went to Quarrybank with Clive and Doug and a couple of other people who were going to be in what became known as the Dog Company later. And at one point, Graham, the drummer, eventually said to me, "Oh, you should meet our Sue's mate, Clive. He's just like you. He reads books." And so, they said, there must only be 2 of them in the whole city, so that we should get them together. So 1974, and for the next 7-8 years, I was with them doing theatre, avant-garde fringe theatre, which is code for we outnumbered the audience. And we went through various very pretentious names, which I will spare you from hearing, and eventually we settled on the Dog Company. And the 3 Dog Company alumni who went on to do the Hellraiser movies and other stuff are me, Clive and Doug, and a guy who who was literally my replacement in Dog Company when I finally left in 1981, was a guy called Ollie Parker, who's now a very successful movie director himself, but he joined Dog Company. It was weird. We were such a tight little clique, cult, as the word some people use to describe us. But even though I was leaving, I still held the auditions that let Ollie into the show. It was me. I think it was just me and Clive, which is weird. Maybe Doug or Phil was in there as well. And Ollie Parker and Mary Roscoe. Because Julie Blake had also this is very, very inside baseball, nuts and bolts. I don't know how interested your viewers are in the specifics, but anyway, the reason I mention Ollie is because obviously I was the friend of everybody, and I saw the subsequent shows with Dog Company, and Ollie was also in Hellraiser. He was second removal man from the left. Brings the mattress in the first movie. And then, in a canny move, we also had him bring the mattress in the second movie. And I haven't watched Hellbound for a long time. I think it was Ollie, not the other removal man, who, when you come back in, only his legs are sticking out the mattress.
I remember.
So I think he was Julia's victim. Well, in the way we originally shot it, Julia was going to rise from the mattress at the end of the movie.
Right.
Instead, it's the torture pillar now, because because the beautiful and talented and lovely person, Claire Higgins, let us know that, I know you want me to be the new Freddy Krueger, the female Freddy Krueger, but I'm joining the Royal Shakespeare Company, so fuck yeah. So we knew we weren't going to have Julia for Hellraiser 3, so we came up with the torture pillar, which helped me come up with the plot for Hellraiser 3, so that was very handy. Sorry, mate, very long-winded answer. But yes, I go back to 1974 with Clive and Doug. Ollie was also a Dog Company alum, and although this was genuinely after my time, Simon Bamford, who played the Butterball Cenobite, I knew that he'd become part of the crowd and that Clive had written plays for Cockpit Theatre, which I thought Nick and Simon had both been members of. But I gather, and I'm ashamed that it took me 47 years to learn this, I gather Simon was also a member of Dog Company Edition 3. I literally have misled people in the past, I guess, because but so in fact, so Hellraiser is actually, once you fold Ollie and Simon into the mix, it's very much sort of revenge of fringe theatre. You know, it's like, we'll teach you not to pay us and put us on the dole. We'll make a horror movie. So yeah.
I have seen the future of horror. His name is Clive Barker. Hellraiser. Beyond any terror you have imagined. A nightmare. No. Unlike anything you have witnessed, is born. Because within these walls, the unholy is unleashed. Clive Barker.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Wasn't there one of the things you did in the Dog Company that was sort of a precursor to Hellraiser, very similar to Hellraiser?
Yeah, the short answer is yes. But I don't want any Hellraiser fans who may be deeply disappointed if they track down a black and white short movie, about 25 minutes movie called The Forbidden, that we shot with an Arts Council grant of 600 quid. The truth is we never finished it at the time. We shot it from 1975 to 1978. And then it was just abandoned, like so many Dog Company projects. And then after the Hellraiser movies, I think it was after Hellraiser 2, so I was involved as well. It might have just been after Hellraiser. I think it was after Hellraiser 2. Somebody from the South Bank show, because Melvin Bragg had interviewed Clive on the South Bank show, and then one of the, I don't want to get the guy's title right. I mean, let's just say one of the producers. I mean, there are various. A guy that worked on the South Bank show said, "Can I edit this together for you?" And the original plan was it was going to be a feature. I mean, when I say feature, I don't mean anything that would have been playing at the local Odeon, but it would have been 85 minutes long. But oh my God, what was the guy? I think he was another Peter, and I apologize. I'm sure the odds against him watching this are very high. But Peter, if you ever by chance see this, I apologize. I can't remember your last name, especially because one time when you were in LA, you invited me to a party and Barbara Steele was there. That makes you very important, because that was the only time I got to meet the legendary Barbara Steele. Anyway, he edited a 25-minute version of The Forbidden. And yes, it has some visual prefiguring of Hellraiser, but it's very much not like a Hellraiser. Who did we show it to once years later? And he said, that's one of the best student films I ever saw, which was like, ooh, mate, stick a knife in. I think it's better than most student films. But I think what he implied, and as you're probably inferring, is it was perhaps verging on the pretentious, perhaps verging on the self-importance, perhaps verging on the not quite sure what's going on here. But, Clive's a great visual artist, as I'm sure viewers know. So it was visually striking, without doubt. And it began, by the way, originally as an adaptation of Christopher Marlowe's Faust, Dr. Faustus, rather, like the other ones. And it was going to be Doug's project originally. Doug wanted to write and direct an adaptation of Faustus. And inevitably, like all our shit back in those days, it just mutated and mutated and mutated. And but there are two big visual similarities. And one is, although it's not a human face, there's a visual motif we keep coming back to, which is nails on a gridded pattern on a board. And the light moves across the nails. So, it's clearly Pinhead's face in embryo. Not that we thought that at the time. And the other one is I was, I should have led with this. I was the lead of that movie, Sean. I was the star. Stars stretching it, but I was the lead actor in the movie. And the climax of The Forbidden is me being skinned on camera and walking into the beyond. Originally, we wanted to score it to the In Paradisum section of Foray's Requiem. So if any of you Hellraiser fans watching this are such nutjob obsessives, if you want to get hold of a copy of The Forbidden, which I think you've got to now buy secondhand on a VHS, but if you want to get hold of it, now there is a DVD. There's some music that Peter commissioned, the guy from South Bank commissioned to put on it. But the last 4-minute sequence, you should actually queue up Foray's In Paradisum from the Requiem, and then you'll be seeing the true vision.
Right.
But so obviously, I was the skinned man before Clive was the skinned man in Hellraiser, and it was just for any indie guerrilla filmmakers out there. The great thing about that is it's a pretty impressive looking skinned man, which I take no credit for. I'm just behind the paint, but it does look good. And we did it all, I am not kidding, with bog roll and wallpaper paste.
Right.
Just, I'm trying to remember the sequence. Either Clive had already painted, mock viscera all over me. And then we mummified me in bog paper and wallpaper paste.
Right.
And then the surgeons of God started peeling this shit back from me. And it looked pretty much like skin was being. So just, a word to our young indies out there, just grab some bog roll, grab some wallpaper paste. As long as you've got imagination, you can do whatever you want,